Have you ever thought about why it's just only a handful of just few artists prosper and succeed, why the majority of the artists actually stay stuck and struggle? Now, in this video, I'm going to take my time and dissect this question, and I'm going to tackle it. Then I'm going to break down and highlight what is the difference maker. What is it that those few people actually do that differentiate them, that help them prosper versus the majority? I belong to a Facebook group. It's just like one of these art groups that I belong in. And somebody posed a question, and he said he has a room full of canvases that he's trying to sell. So his question was, where do you guys sell your art? How do you guys make money? So that was the question he asked, and I wrote it down. So while everybody was answering this question to the best of their ability, you have some artists giving out these fancy answers, right? And then somebody was saying that just contact your local gallery. Someone was saying that just list them up online and sell them. And everybody was just saying what they were saying. My comment was, I just went in there and just said, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you, just DIY or fail. So that was my answer to that question. What I was trying to say was that just do it yourself or fail. Because you asking how do you get your art to be sold out there, and the only answer that you're getting is everybody telling you post them online, contact a gallery, and people talking about find the collectors and so on and so forth. So it becomes an issue of talent versus mindset. Now, I believe the artist is super talented. I think I saw some of the piece and it was like amazing, beautiful, colorful. The talent is there. The brushwork is there. The knowledge is there. But what he's missing is the mindset and the grind and the hustle. Now, that's the difference maker. If you're a talented artist, incredible, amazing artist, but you're lacking mindset and you are lacking the grind, the hustle, the independent artist mentality, you will end up with room full of physical canvases and can't figure it out how to sell it. It's going to be a struggle for you. Now you're going to have to reach out to the public and ask, how do I sell my art? How do I get rid of my art? I have a room full of art and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to sell it. Because you do have the talent, but you don't have the mindset. You do have the talent, but you don't have the gut, right? The burning desire for you to go out there and do it on your own. I always make this analogy between music and art. Musicians used to be out in the street in abundance, hustling their music, passing out their mixtapes, their independent albums, selling them for $10, $5, some of them even for free, just for you to give them a follow on Instagram and or all these other social platforms, just to get themselves out there. This was when music was sold on physical copy. Today, that music has lost that physical copy ability. The street is kind of quiet, and so the door is open. The door is wide open for artists like ourselves to actually take over the streets, because we still have the opportunity to do what? To show up with a physical art. And that's the way to do it, or one of the ways to do it. If you don't already have a massive following online already, you're just getting started and you want to build up, the only way to do it is build it with the public, build it with the people, go to the people, meet them halfway. Me personally, that's how I build up my career. That's the lane that I took. I always made an analogy between independent music artists, and I always like be inspired by how they come at it, how the approach that they take. And that approach is always stuck in the back of my head, that if I'm ready to really go at it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the people direct. I'm going to go sell my work out of my trunk I want to go sell my pieces low key. I'm gonna go to the people. I'm gonna go out there and slowly push my work. I am not going to wait for someone to come out and discover me. So the reason situations like this happen is because a lot of people are waiting for discoverability. You're waiting for someone to discover you. So talent don't really mean nothing in this situation. What really matters is a mindset. The mindset for you to go out there and grind and to do it on your own, and to have that music artist independent gut, that ability for them to just go at it independently, direct to the people and sell the CDs for $5 and $10, $2, whatever they can, to push their own CDs out of their own trunk of their car. That's how independent artists usually sell their music. Now, unfortunately, music is now all digital. But with art, we still have physical copies. We can sell physical art. So there's no excuse, there's no need for us to sit here and complain, because you want to get into a gallery. How many galleries and how many wall space are out there versus how many artists? The spaces and the galleries that's out there, it's so small. It's like this small versus how many artists that's out there, and how many artists keep coming out of school every year, plus self-taught artists. I mean, you think about it, it's outrageous. So if you are not really ready to go out there toe-to-toe, you will not make it. You will not gonna succeed as an artist. You will not going to prosper. So that's the difference why just few artists actually prosper versus the majority of the artists just trying to figure it out, because you are waiting for something to happen. Now, like I said, the approach that I always take, just the last video that I did, I was talking about a customer of mine that was interested in the piece, and this person we actually met in person while I was selling my low ticket art, my low ticket items, and she was out there with a family, and they made a purchase. But of course, like I said, you know my motto, you know my game plan, the art of one. You have to do it all by yourself on your own. So I'm someone who's big on collecting email addresses on a low ticket purchase. Whenever I sell a low ticket, like a t-shirt, a hoodie, or apron, or any of my low ticket, I have to make sure that I collect email address. So I collected the lady's email address, and I follow up on my weekly newsletter that I sent out. She reached out to me that she wanted a piece. The piece that she wanted, it's called Rusted Ideation. She took a little bit of time, and then another lady from Australia reached out that she wanted that piece plus another piece from the website. So the lady from Australia was able to secure that piece. And then later on, this lady came back and she was asking about the rest of the ideation. So I said to her, that piece has found a new home, and it's with its new owner. But I do have a similar piece that has almost the same palette and kind of like a family line. And if she would check it out, I can actually give it to her on this price that we agreed on for the rusted ideation. And this piece here is called Raining Ideation. So and she was like, yeah. She liked it. So she reached back to me with an email. Now this is the note that she wrote. She sent to me. She said, "We are excited to hang your piece. It will have a personal story with us. We are excited to hang your piece. It will have a personal story with us." Why? Because we met in person. I was selling in person out in the streets when I met them. It was a family. We took a picture, and they had like an older lady, and it was like she loved art, and she still does artistic stuff even though as old as she is. So we had such a beautiful conversation, and that experience stuck with them, and they took that with them to the West Coast. I'm in the East Coast, and they took that with them to the West Coast. And today that she wanted to, now she's able to secure a piece. I'm gonna have to package it up and ship it over. it's not about the piece, it's not about the art, it's about me, the personality, the meetup, the experience that they had with me. So that's why they're so excited to hang my piece, because when they see that piece, they're gonna remind them of that moment that we had. And she's talking about it will have a personal story. That personal story is they buying me, they buying a piece of me, they buying a piece of what I present, and they buying a piece of that day when we met and that conversation that we had. We talk about art, we talk about life, we talk about family. That's when they're buying. That's what they're buying. They're not buying art, because she could have just went on Google and just searched for an abstract art, and she will find probably the most beautiful art that she can buy, and probably cheaper than mine. Because like I said, my pieces go from $2,000 and up, 2,000 and up. The lowest price is $2,000 my pieces. But she still came back to me to purchase my piece, because it's not about the art. It's about the connection, the network, the personality, the emotions, all of the above. That's what it's about. That's what people buy, not the actual art. So imagine, let's say if somebody walk into a gallery. If you're working with a gallery and you have a piece there, and somebody walk into that gallery and they decided they want that piece, which happened to be your piece, but there's something about it that they don't want. What the gallery is gonna do is that they're not gonna want to lose that customer. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna try to push them over to another artist in that room and say, oh, you know what? Check out this artist. He's also such an amazing artist, and his piece is this, and they're gonna come up with a story, and then they're gonna try to sell that piece to that collector. And then when that happens, that means you have lost a sale. So that's some of the disadvantage that comes with when you actually working with galleries. And working with galleries is amazing. I'm not against that. But if you don't have that yet, you have to grind. I've never worked with a gallery. I'm going by my experience. With my experience, the reason I brought this up is because when this lady showed up, again, she was interested in that rusted ideation, but she took a little bit longer. And then this lady from Australia came in to scoop that piece. Now she came back, she wanted it, and that piece is no longer there. I was able to recommend another piece of mine, and then she bought it. She said, yes, I will take that. I want to have your piece because it will have a personal story, a personal touch with us. That don't happen with galleries. That don't happen. If you build your own audience and you build your own people, you build your own tribe, you develop your own community, and they come to collect one of your pieces, it's a reflection of you. It's an extension of you. If they want a piece of yours and that piece happen to be unavailable, you can always recommend another piece to them, or you can work with them to come up with something similar to that, and they will buy it because they're not looking to buy just art. They're looking to buy a piece of you. They're looking to buy into you. You become a product that they want. They want you as a product. They want your product. You become a personal brand that they want to connect it with. So they want you as that personal brand that you are. You become a business and they want to support you. They want to support your business. So that's how art is sold on that level. Now, a lot of struggling artists are chasing and struggling, just trying to just sell art, buy art, but you don't sell art like that. And that's why when you show up in the people, and when you ask people, yo, how do I sell art? They will tell you, reach out to the galleries, go to the galleries. And that's why galleries will receive so many emails and they're not going to answer to it. They're going to receive so many letters or whatever, and they're not going to DMs and all that stuff, and they're not going to respond to it because the understanding is different. It's not about the art, and it's not about your beautiful art. It's not about your talent. It's about what are you bringing to the table. If you reaching out to the galleries when you already have you already established, you have your own core art collectors, art fans that love to fool with you and get your work, and your name is buzzing out there, the gallery themselves will find you. And if they don't, you're still doing good business. You're doing amazing. You don't really need them to do business with them if you find your own people, because they have their own email list that they eat off. So what you need to do is you need to also build your own email list, and that's your asset. That's your gold mine. Build your own following. If you like, I have a friend who has about 3 million followers on Instagram, and he struggled to actually do business. And we had this conversation. I gave him a roadmap, what to do, but it included him trying to invite his Instagram people to come to the ground, to come outside, to come to the streets, and then put the product in front of them and do it that way. And that's the advice I gave him. Because with Instagram, it's just instant gratification, and people just gonna double tap on it, just like it and keep it moving. But you need more than just that. You need more. People need to remember that. Oh, I met that guy before. Oh, I met that artist before when I was in Charlotte, or when I was in LA, when I was in Chicago, when I was in New York. I came across this artist. That's what people buy. When people remember that day that they met you, that conversation, that impression, that impact that you had on them, and plus now they see your art and they see you being consistent. You sending out an email address. They gave you a follow. They see you posting on social media. That's what going to convince them to reach out. Like, yo, I think I need a piece for my basement or for my living room. Let me reach out to that artist. But if that person lives in Chicago, there's a bunch of artists that they can just go collect from. But they remember you. There's something about a personal collection. So it's about building a personal relationship. Building a personal relationship. That's how you sell art. Now, in order for you to build that personal relationship, you need to introduce yourself to them with a small piece, with a low ticket. It can be a t-shirt, it can be a tote bag, a hoodie, a trucker hat, whatever it is, you can use as an intro to build that connection. And then from there, after you got the email address, they gave you a follow. Now you are connected. Now they see you working, they see your consistency. And over time, they're gonna learn to love it and to love your work and to like you as a person, and then continue to remember that impression that you had on them. And that's what leads to sales down the line on a larger ticket. So that's how you actually sell art. So if you wanna avoid being a stuck artist, a broke artist, if you wanna join in on those few artists who have prospered, who are doing well, who actually are succeeding, then this is your roadmap. Get over your head with that talent stuff. Talent is amazing. Skill is amazing. But mindset and grind and hustle is more important. Yes, you can have talent, you can have the skill, but if the guy that's out there in the street hustling, grinding, pushing harder than you, he's actually gonna meet more people. He's actually gonna collect more email addresses. He's actually gonna get more following than you, because you just hiding behind your talent. So in this case, that mindset would beat that talent. If you were able to develop that mindset, you are on your way to joining those few artists who succeed. Number 2, stop waiting to be discovered. Majority of the artists are hiding behind their skills and their talent and their beautiful paintings, and they're waiting for someone to discover them. It's just like, do you know how many musicians that lost the opportunity to become musicians because they were waiting for someone to discover them? They were waiting for a record label to discover them and sign them, and as a result, they didn't make it. They couldn't build their music career. But meanwhile, they probably could have just stayed in the room with their own guitar and sing their own thing and post it on YouTube, or post it on SoundCloud, or any of those mixtapes, and create their own mixtape and sell their own music on their own and build their own fans from the ground up. And even if it's 100 people, yes, that's your fan. And build from there. Those 100 people will recommend to other people. You know how many comments that I receive in my YouTube videos of people saying that, oh, somebody sent this to me. Somebody just sent me your way. I'm glad that my friend recommended you or recommended me to come and check you out. So that's how it happened. It could be just 10 people. but treat them right. Treat them right, and they will tell 5 more people or 10 more people, and then you're gonna, over time, you're gonna be all right. That's why I'm like, I champion playing the long game. So you have to play the long game. If you play the long game, trust me, as an artist, you're gonna win. So number 1, your mindset will beat talent. Number 2, stop waiting to be discovered. Number 3, independent artists discovered what's working. An independent artist discovered what's working. Instead of them waiting for someone to discover them, or instead of them waiting to be discovered, they actually discover what's working. So yes, they know about talents, but they focus more on the mindset, the grind, the hustle, the push, meeting the people halfway, outside, taking themselves out there to the people, and not waiting for someone to say, oh, he's a talented artist. Again, number 2, they're not waiting to be discovered. Number 3, they actually go out there to discover what's working. Independent artists, they go out there to discover what's working. And once they discover what's working, number 4, they double down on what's working. Once they discover what's working, they double down on what's working. And once they double down on what's working, number 5, that's when the win happens. Because if you keep going out there, if you keep doing this, if you keep just the mindset, you dump that idea of waiting to be discovered somewhere in a trash can out. Number 3, declare yourself as an independent artist, and you go out there and you discover what's working. And then number 4, once you discover what's working, you double down on what's working. And number 5, that's how you get the win. By the time you get to number 5, you understand it's like a flywheel, and you have your email address going on, you have your social media going on, you have your in-person grind going on, and your email address reaching out to people on a weekly basis, your social media on a daily or every 2 days, whatever, you going out in person selling. And as you're doing this, you're posting, you're doing all this stuff, Google is also indexing all your content for you on Google. So it's amazing how this whole thing works, if you don't stop. If you just keep doing it consistently, the entire ecosystem will be working for you. It's amazing how that works. The people that you have on your email list, they will start to forward your emails to other friends and family members, like, yo, check this guy out. He's amazing. Look at what he's doing. My YouTube videos are being recommended to others. Like, it's amazing how this whole thing works. The same thing with Instagram posts. When I post people, when I go in there and I see that they say, oh, maybe like 10 shares, people will be sharing my posts to other people. So if you keep that grind, you keep consistent, you keep doing it, everything that you put out there, the people will become they become your employees in a good way. They will start to cheer for you, because they will start to share your work. They start to put your work out there to show it to other people who might be interested in what is it that you're doing. You understand? So just keep that mindset and just stay in that frame that if you want to succeed, playing the waiting game is definitely not the way to go. But playing the long game is the way to go. But you have to be consistent. So grind over talent. Hustle hard, hustle, grind, and pushing over talent. We are not waiting to be discovered. We are not doing that. We are not waiting for no galleries, no industry collectors, no industry curators, no group show, no solo show for us to be discovered. We're not waiting for that. We are an independent artist, the art of one artist business. We are pushing everything ourselves. We are doing everything ourselves, and we're going to discover what's working. And once we discover what's working, problem. Once we discover what's working, that's when the problems start. Now we're going to double down on that thing that's working, because you might show up with an ideation, with a brainstorming, and with a bunch of stuff. Yes, and I do recommend that. And we're trying to figure it out. But once we discover what's working, that's when we double down on what's working. And then what's working is what's going to result in a win. So we're looking to win, and we're looking to prosper, and we're looking to succeed. And that's how you build a gold mine. That's how you build a successful art career. If you decided to go this route, this independent route, that's the route that I took. That's the route that I recommend. That's the route that I want you to focus on, to drive on, to stay in this lane and just drive all the way. Just sitting down and waiting for someone to discover you, no matter how talented you are, it can take you forever. Can you imagine in the past 10 years if I was sitting down waiting for some gallery? Do you know how they probably would throw me behind the list somewhere. But being outside, doing it on my own, I have worked with Pepsi, Uber, HBO, MasterCard, Facebook. I have been employed by a private school to teach. They pay me crazy amount of money. Like I've done so well just doing it on my own. And now I understand how sometimes when I see an interview with like an independent music artist, and they say they're so successful, they're so successful, they did it on their own independently. It's possible, y'all. So that's the message today. The reason some artists prosper and others don't is what I just dropped on you. So go put in the work. Go put in the work. And it's my videos it's about nothing but that. Just this direction. Just being an independent, being the art of one, being in one artist business, just going for it, not waiting, not depending on anyone. We're gonna just continue to do it. If they discover us along the way, let's do business. But other than that, we are not going to become a starving artist. We are not going to be broke. We're not going to be struggling. We're not going to get stuck. We're just going to go out there and push and push and push consistently until we build our own audience, until we find our own people. And over time, those people will start spending money and buying from us. That's it for today. I wish you number luck. I wish you number grind. Go sell some art. Go start with some low ticket. Start with anything that you can sell. Anything. T-shirt, hoodies, whatever. Somebody reached out to me that they sell like a glass. They paint like a bottle or a glass. Like the ideas are out there. Everybody got their own ideas. Whatever that is, sell it on a small scale. Start with that. Let that become your discoverability and use it to collect email addresses. Use it to build audience slowly but surely. So I'm going to stop right here. This is going to be it. I see you on another video. If you like this right here, please subscribe, like, share, and also check out my website. Hit the link below, go to the website and support if you want to support me in any way, shape, or form. Thank you so much. I see you on the next one. Salute, peace.